them. So that would still be interesting to me. Once again, an opponent who I don't know. No read on their deck selection. My hand is once again pretty slow, but looks reasonable. I have Brainstorm plus Ash Barrens to improve it. I think I'm firing that off right away. So shuffle away 2 cards or shuffle away 1 card? That's the interesting decision that I'm faced with here. A 3-1 record by my opponent in the Terramorphic Expanse. I would assume that this is most likely Blue-Red Delver or Tireless Stripe. The deck does look very sweet, and it is pretty sweet. I think you would enjoy it, for sure. I mean, it's not Cloud of Fairy style sweet, but it's definitely super nice control deck still. So I recommend it. Anything with Flicker you will enjoy, right? Okay. I guess I'll be spending my turn 2 on Izzet Boilerworks regardless. So I just have to decide whether I want the extra island and how greedy of a hand I want to be keeping with it. Like I can go like super ungreedy and get rid of these 2. Or get rid of the Preordain because it doesn't fit into my turn if I cycle Ash Barrens. I think getting rid of 1 land is fine, even though then I'm stuck on 4 lands for a while. I can still use like Seagate Oracle Preordain to find my extra land drops. And then it's probably correct to just get rid of the Flicker as well for now and just try to reassemble Flicker things once I actually do have creatures on the board, though then it's possible I should just be getting rid of Archaeomancer and Flicker and just going for the least greedy line possible. Yeah, probably still Island. Yeah, it's possible I should be keeping the island in hand, getting rid of the Archaeomancer. Though I didn't want to flood out with these cycling effects already being likely to find me the extra land if I need it. Interesting. Terramorphic into forest. Is this Boggles again? Boggles usually doesn't terramorph. I see. Some kind of either Tortured Existence or the black-green like Grizzly Salvage Graveyard thing deck that I had seen previously. That 5-0'd very recently. Like something. I have it here somewhere. Black-green. This one. Blastoderm, Hooting Mandrill, Skirmic Angler, Putrid Leech. This could be the deck. So they would likely just fire off Grizzly Salvage at the end of their turn, fill up their graveyard, then cast something big. That's a possibility. Possible explanation for what is going on here. I think I don't have much choice other than to Seagate Oracle it up though, with how my current hand is looking. Even if I Preordain, I couldn't successfully find a counter spell because I don't have triple blue available to me, so yeah, they were like, okay, Grizzly Salvage in response, but then like, okay, let's let this fool make his decision first and then Grizzly Salvage after, to not give up too much info. Just reasonable. I mean, they allow me to Seagate Oracle into Daze, but who's really doing that? No one plays Izzet Boilerworks and Daze in the same deck. Okay, so our read was correct. And what did they take? Putrid Leech to their hand, okay. Yeah, the matchup could be, I mean, I should probably be ahead in a black-green dirtly deck with a bunch of removal and no real way of disrupting my card advantage engine on this deck. Like, their interaction is limited to like killing my creatures after they've already generated value, and then like a few duresses after sideboarding. I guess Nihil Spellbomb is like a little bit annoying. But the scary part of the matchup is definitely like Blastoderm and Garmic Angler, because those both end up being out of Flame Slash range and pretty scary threats to face. This looks like a Garmic Angler follow-up to the Satyr Wayfinder. Well, luckily enough I have my Harvest Pyre already, which is one of my ways of dealing with 5 toughness creatures that I've already resolved. But for now I don't even have enough graveyard fuel to deal with the Angler. I really wish I had my Flicker back. So I can Augur trying to find Counterspell, or Preordain trying to find Counterspell. Both of them are going to be equally likely to find it, but the Preordain might have a better fail case. Like, if I don't hit the spell, then it could be better to have red mana open, it could be better to... I think I'm still Auguring, because I need to get this more clunky card onto the board at some point. More Preordains. Well, at least the Preordains allow me to build a graveyard pretty quickly for Harvest Pyre, but now my opponent can resolve. I'm not really interested in either of these. Well, the fetch land helps with the Harvest Pyre, but still. Yeah, I would rather like Flame Slash a different creature and then Harvest Pyre afterwards or something. Okay. Keep bottoming all of this. Yeah, now they can resolve another Garmic Angler, a Blastoderm, something like that. My creatures will be on chump block duty for quite a bit. So hopefully they just Putrid Leech and I find an untapped red source. Those would be like the ideal developments here. I think I'm even chump blocking already. Maybe not. Yeah, sure. Fills my graveyard for the Harvest Pyre, so if they don't do anything worth killing, or I don't find a second red source, I can Harvest Pyre the Garmic Angler. Because yeah, if I don't find a second red source, I would have no ability to cast the Flame Slash and the Pyre in the same turn, so answering the Putrid Leech would fill my graveyard up sufficiently, but then the Harvest Pyre is uncastable. Commune. So is this Hoodring Vendor's follow-up, or why would they commune over casting the Putrid Leech? Yeah, looks like Hoodring Vendors, but I'm not too afraid of that. What did they do with the commune though? They put Blastoderm in their hand. That is also scary. As I said, I guess that means more chump block duty for my creatures. Well, I guess let's Flame Slash this chump. Maybe just well, yeah, let's Flame Slash, and then I can Archaeomance or something. Does that even help? Not that much. Yeah, being without a second red source here is actually pretty annoying. I could have kept any of the Evolving Wells, but that still would have been a delayed red source rather than an immediate red source. Yeah, probably worth it to resolve my Archaeomancer here. Probably get myself another Flame Slash because well, it's pretty awkward to get the Flame Slash when I'm still stuck on red mana. But it does answer the Putrid Leech that I know I'm going to have to answer. Yeah, alright, I'll get the Flame Slash. So yeah, a lot of chump blocking in my future. And then I should have a reasonable setup to outvalue my opponent, because I can answer many of their things 1-for-1, and then the jump blocking is made up for by the fact that all of my creatures replace themselves. But yeah, 5 toughness creatures are hard to deal with. The mono Blastoderm Gurmag Angler deck definitely not something I'm all that keen on facing. Well, I guess when I draw a counterspell, the matchup gets a lot easier, because like Blastoderm is super embarrassing facing a counterspell. Blastoderm is still slightly embarrassing just facing down Seagate Oracle, so there's a counterspell though. I guess the second red mana this turn doesn't really do much for me. It would have been useful in the long run though, but I think I want to have this available next turn. I guess I can have it available this turn, but I would rather get the Gurmag Angler off of the board, because their Putrid Leech follow-up I don't really care about too much, because I can Flame Slash it. Yeah, I think I'm spending my limited amount of red mana here right away. Not really certain why I'm doing this main phase, but I guess they might have like, no, 1-5, not 4. Yes, they, okay, this is 5. I guess they might have like Vines of the Westwood or something as a new addition in their deck. And I don't really think there's much of a cost to doing it right away. Like, they get to know I don't have Counterspell available, but I didn't have it the previous 5 turns, so they should have already figured that out by now. So yeah, I'll be jump blocking this Blastoderm. I guess I can let it through once. Sure. So that at least my Archaeomancer is protected from Trainer's Edict. Because I want to get Flicker Archaeomancer stuff going at some point. Calciderm common. I think they're both common. I'll check. I guess I just don't have any, which makes sense. Uncommon. Looks to be uncommon. Yeah, I guess they're uncommon. Just Blastoderm is a common. And they're also uncommon in Vintage Masters or whatever that is. No, not another one. I wanted to counterspell this so badly. Well, I guess they're going away at some point, so if I just keep jump blocking, I'll end up being fine. But yeah, these are quite a nuisance. All the Muldrifters are on the bottom of my deck. I mean, 3 of them at least. So I am very interested in shuffling my library as soon as that becomes available to me. Well, more Archaeomancers or Brainstorm. I kind of like all the cards in my hand, so I'll just go with the extra Archaeomancer, even though I don't have the greatest targets at the moment. That can still just get me a Preordain or something. Flicker would be amazing. Yeah, that's really what I'm looking for. Muldrifters would have been great, because they generate more card advantage while jump blocking, but now they're all on the bottom of my library from getting revealed to Ogre Boluses. And yeah, Flicker is just game winning. Also, all of their removal is like Sorcery Speed. It's Death Weight and Trainer's Edict, so they don't have a great setup at disrupting, flickering. Okay, I have backup Archaeomancers. I don't need to fight over this. But yeah, once I have a Flicker loop going, they can't really disrupt it all that well, unless my creature count is low enough that Trainer's Edict matters. Well, more jump blockerinos. I have follow-up creatures covered now. The Putrid Leech just dies to Flame Slash, and anything bigger gets counterspelled. This looks like another Delve threat from the way that they're casting it. But yeah, looking to stall the game until I find a Flicker finally. And then hopefully I haven't lost so many creatures that the Flicker becomes ineffective at that point. Yeah, that has to get countered for sure. And they're down to 2 cards in hand, one of which is Putrid Leech, so kinda like my spot from here. Can just Archaeomancer back the counter spell, I guess. Let's preordain first, because I will be able to do that in addition. Well, the Evolving Walls is great for the aforementioned shuffle for Muldrifter reasons, but it's also bad because like I'm drawing an extra land that I don't really want. Well, I guess so. Guess let's top it because I can still Archaeomancer back Brainstorm to fix my flood problems. Potentially. I'll do that next turn. That's why I'm holding on to the shuffle, even though I wanted to shuffle my library to get access to those Muldrifters. I would rather combine the shuffle with a Brainstorm when possible. And if I have to counter multiple things with Counterspell, Archaeomancer, Counterspell, then I guess I'll just end up drawing a Brainstorm naturally at some point, right? Yeah, that can resolve, sure. These Blastoryms are so annoying. Though, yeah, as I said, they're pretty embarrassing in the face of Counterspell. They're just super annoying when they did already resolve, because it's so much damage potential. And now I'm weak to Chainer's Edict, I guess. Ah, stop, opponent. Stop. Okay, that's these. Counterspell is these. Now I think I do get to get back my brains. I guess I don't even have a Brainstorm anymore. I do have some preordains. Well, I guess. Well, maybe that was foolish then. Did I exile my Brainstorm? I think so. Yeah, I exiled my Brainstorm instead of my preordain when I had to delve for Harvest Pyre. That's why I had memories of a Brainstorm that were no longer true. Then I guess I'll just shuffle and look for the Muldrifters with the preordain. Well, I will end up at 5 here if I let one of these through. But I guess this much card advantage should be great. I shouldn't really be taking more damage after that, right? Okay, I'll top it. One Archaeomancer is already in my graveyard, so I would prefer not to jump block. Especially because they can like Chainer's Edict me. But yeah, going to 2 should be fine. My opponent's deck doesn't really have any like direct damage. So as long as I keep countering their creatures, they should be locked out of the game from here. Depends a little bit on how well I top deck, of course, but yeah, let's counter that for sure. Wow, 2 spell turn, really? That's sick. Yo, Matrix. No. Okay, now I kind of have to... What did they have left? They have a Chainer's Edict. So if I block and they Chainer's Edict me next turn, I have like no flicker or shenanigans left in my deck. That's super problematic. But like taking this also puts me to 5, so then the Deep Analysis puts me to... Like Flashback puts me to 2, and then the Hooting Wanderers is super dangerous, so... Nice, that's a good investment. So going to 2. How many answers do I have left? 1 Flame Slash or something? Yeah, I think I'll block and then just try to win with Muldrifters if things go badly. But yeah, I don't like my spot here when the flicker is cut off and so many of my creatures are already gone. I guess I need double red for like double bolt on their Hooting Wanderers. That should still end up being a favorable exchange. I mean, not one that I really want to make, but... God damn it. This is going to be the turn that I draw Mulldrifters, I can guarantee it. Well, I guess I can keep my Archaeomancer alive by counter-spelling Chainer's Edict, but yeah, I'm still dead in 2 turns, so Arc Lightning kind of opens up Lightning Bolt top decks, and they drew a land, which allows them to Chainer's Edict, but also makes it so they don't have another threat, so has some upsides and some downsides. Yeah, definitely double. Like, if I have double Archaeomancer on the board, drawing Flicker would be amazing. That's definitely true. Well, oh, they also didn't Chainer's Edict. That's super weird. Well, Radiant Fountain is like a decent draw. Makes it so I don't have to jump block as early. But yeah, I still don't like my spot here at all. Next turn I have to top deck once again. Like, Lightning Bolt would be great because I have Arc Lightning. Mulldrifter would obviously be great. Flame Slash is great. Okay, they finally remembered their Chainer's Edict. I think I need my... Yeah, now my Flickers are no longer that great. I would likely just have to throw them away to turn them into a Flame Slash. Yep, going to 1 here. But like, being unable to deep analysis without killing myself definitely had some severe downsides as well. What the hell? Yeah, we died. I went through like 40 cards and all 4 of my Mulldrifters were on the bottom of my deck. I even shuffled my deck to put them back in, but yeah, I think my opponent could like never have beaten a resolved Mulldrifter. And also my Flickers, though I did have Flicker available to me on turn 2 or something in my opening hand, and then got rid of the Flicker. No, I would Flicker Archaeomancer and Radiant Fountain, and then... Well, I guess, yeah, that's true, you can, like, keep using it. I guess I could have kept using it for, like, a turn or 2, because then the 4 attack is irrelevant. Yeah. I could go for, like, 3 Flickers in the turn and gain 6 life a turn or something. But yeah, it would not have been a real engine anymore with only 1 Archaeomancer left. But yeah, all 4 Mulldrifters were on the bottom 20 cards. And both Flickers, though one of the Flickers was in my starting hand and got shuffled away, so have myself to blame a little bit there. I might even want Razorfin Hunter. Yeah, for Elves and for Delver, of course. But yeah, Delver can kill it. Mono Blue Delver can't really kill it, but yeah. Blue-Red Delver can kill it, but it's like a cheaper Serrated Arrows type effect. It's great against Elves, decent against Stompy. Against Heroic it's pretty nice, and the Delver matchups it can sometimes get out of control when it sticks around. But I might want it here just because it allows me to Flame Slash Grammack Angler, if that makes any sense. Or like Lightning Bolt their 4/4s. Like, it upgrades my damage effects. Though I will probably want to cut some number of Lightning Bolts. And Dispel can come out. And what else do I want? Yeah, Relic seems great, of course. Deep analysis is pretty sketchy when my life total is under pressure, but I guess on the play it should be good enough, and outvaluing them is still the plan. This is a brew, but it's not my brew. No, it's built by... Damn, I forgot again who built it. Janice Stone, I think, is the name of the person who built it, and then it was played to a top 8 finish by Cone Fruit Tree, who beat me in the quarterfinals with it. Deck is in the Stream Decker as always, so just click the plugin or use the !deck command in the chat and you will find it. Okay, this looks pretty decent. I guess both of us now have Graveyard Hate. I have Relic of Progenitus, they have Nihil Spellbomb. They do a pretty good job of filling their graveyard in huge chunks. Like Grisly Salvage and Commune with the Gods are going to add 5 cards at a time, so chaining those into a Delve spell is still very possible for my opponent. The Relic of Progenitus is not necessarily like a knockout punch. They just end of turn Grisly Salvage, untap Commune with the Gods, and then cast a Delve spell or something. And I might have to sacrifice the Relic somewhere in between to slightly slow them down, but I still end up losing my Relic. But yeah, it should be like a road bump for them that buys me some time. And I think I'm fine holding open Counterspell, though maybe there's no 2 mana card I really care about. Probably Putrid Leech, I mean, is good enough to counter. Because my current hand is pretty low on removal. Okay, so that I think I can let it resolve. They have like the tiny chance of missing, though now they got a forest, but yeah, now I get to start using the Relic to attack their graveyard. If they hadn't cast anything, it would have just been sitting around uselessly. Yeah, I think they're far enough from casting any of their Delve spells that I can preordain, though I guess then I should have just put my Izzet Boilerworks into play on my last turn, because there wasn't really any threat. And counterspells seem amazing here, not sure on the Brainstorm, probably both. Something I'm interested in at some point, because I am pretty flooded, so I only need to find a way of shuffling my library for the Brainstorm to be amazing as well. So yeah, I give them one more turn of resolving stuff. Putrid Leech is the only thing that can really punish me. And then I will have counterspells open for their Blastoderms. Though I guess it's still possible for them to punish me here just by going Grisly Salvage into Delve Threat. Yeah, that's the problem. My Relic doesn't really do all that much. I mean, it makes it more difficult for them to sustain constant creature pressure. But yeah, now they can just cast a Gurmag Angler or something as a follow-up, and there was no priority in between for me to disrupt this. I couldn't sack my Relic beforehand. I mean, I guess I could sack my Relic beforehand, but then they end up being 1 mana short. But yeah, Hooting Mandrills I can't disrupt because they add 5 cards to their graveyard and then delve 5, so undisruptible. Yeah, now I'm behind on the board. I don't like that spot. Really need my Flame Slashes. I kind of feel like there should be 4 Flame Slashes in the 75. The Arc Lightning not being a Flame Slash is just a pretty big blunder in deck building, I think. That should be corrected. I mean, Sorcery Speed removal is awkward against the Spellstutter engine, but Arc Lightning is like an even more clunky Sorcery Speed thing to be doing, so that doesn't really improve the situation much. It does help against Spellstutter that it costs 3, and you can contest like their Ninja or Delver for a more expensive spell, but you just open yourself up to counterspell by tapping out for that much mana on your main phase. So I think another Harvest Pyre, Flame Slash, Burst Lightning type effect would be preferable. Not sure what you're trying to ask. Why haven't I played my tapped land? Because I wanted to keep like this plus counterspell open and didn't necessarily want to tap down too low. Also potentially allows me to brainstorm, but yeah. Last turn I probably could have developed my tap land. Now I'll sack my Relic though. Like, it doesn't do much to hate on my opponent. Now it's like, now I'm without a graveyard hate card. Really need a shove. Well, Flame Slash was like one of the top cards to find to help me stabilize the board. But I'm super flooded here and don't have a way to shuffle my weak Brainstorm, so... Well, the good news is I get to like counterspell their Blastoderm, then untap Archaeomancer back my counterspell their follow-up play. Sure. Arc Lightning is good versus Elves. Still feel like I would prefer a main deck Electricity or a Swirling Sandstorm or something over an Arc Lightning. Well, I can see why the card was chosen. Like, Swirling Sandstorm is super awkward against Delver. Electricity is super awkward against Stumpy. Like, they all have their downsides. But I feel like even though you end up with maximum flexibility and it doesn't really have any blind spots, it's just so inefficient that like the card doesn't need a blind spot to be bad. Like, the casting cost is already the blind spot. Even though it hits something in all matchups, it ends up being so inefficient that you just get punished even if you do have a good target. It does have the maximum amount of versatility, but you have to balance like efficiency against versatility, I think, and they went a little bit overboard on valuing versatility over efficiency, which I don't think the deck can really afford to do. Same thing for Deep Analysis, where I feel like it's a little bit like valuing value and like card advantage, or like high impact in terms of card advantage, too much over efficiency. I really like my decks to be efficient in such a high powered Eternal format. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that, actually. What are they doing? Just hard casting it? No bestow, sure. I think, like, if you think of Archaeomancer as a Snapcaster Mage, you actually want to split your spells and have highly efficient and specific answers, much more than you want, like, catch-alls. I'll go into detail more. Let me first play out my turn. So I can get Brainstorm, or just sit on this Archaeomancer until I find another counterspell, or like until I cast my counterspell to get another counterspell. Yeah, I guess I'll get the Brainstorm. Theoretically, I could also just get the Flame Slash, but I think my hand is weak enough that I want to Brainstorm at some point to improve it, get rid of these extra lands, and find a way to shuffle. I'll be a little bit more patient with it for now. I can still double block the Leaf Crown Tide, assuming my opponent has lower amount of removal in their deck and the removal is still all sorcery speed. But yeah, let's just say this is Snapcaster Mage, which is pretty close to a Pauper equivalent of a Snapcaster Mage. Like, in a Snapcaster Mage, you would want to have like 3 different removal spells that are all super efficient and very good in a certain spot, and then whichever one is like best in the matchup, you keep reusing it over and over again. So for example, let's say in Pauper terms, you could have like a Flame Slash, a main deck Pyroblast, and an Electricity or something, and they're going to be good in very different spots. Like, Pyroblast is great at fighting Muldrifter, Electricity is great at fighting Elves, and like Flame Slash is good against Affinity or something. And then your goal in the matchup would be to find the one that is best in that particular matchup, and then keep using that over and over and over again. And then with each time you reuse the right card for the right matchup, your advantage just keeps growing and growing. So for example, like, if you find your Flame Slash against Affinity and you cast it 3 times, that gives you a much bigger advantage. So you would rather have like 3 targets that are specifically great somewhere and not that great elsewhere, rather than having like 3 Arc Lightnings. Because you know your 3 Arc Lightnings are always going to be okay, but they're never going to be great. So each time you reuse your Arc Lightning, you keep falling further and further behind. So I think like the exact opposite holds true for like deck building with recursion. And for Snapcaster Mages, like you want one Dismember, one Fatal Push, and one Go for the Throat or something. I mean, that's like slightly exaggerated, but that's the philosophy you should have. Where like you find your Snapcaster Mage and you have the perfect answer for any situation already lying around in your graveyard. You're not like, okay, time to get back this, like, I don't know, get back this catch-all angel that is 2 mana too expensive. And that's kind of what Arc Lightning is. So the inefficiency of an Arc Lightning just keeps multiplying whenever you keep reusing it. And yeah, I agree on the deep analysis also. When you're already trying to catch up, putting pressure on your own life total, as well as like being super inefficient on the front side, both of those are things that you want to avoid. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why they did it. As I said, it is the most versatile answer that has no blind spots, but I think they overlooked casting cost as a blind spot. And also, I'm not like trying to, like, if you're playing devil's advocate here, I understand that you're not necessarily like on their side. You're just trying to get discussion going. But I try to respond in that exact way, that I have an open discussion with you why I think the deck builder's choice is wrong, even if I know it's not necessarily your choice as well. So yeah, obviously not meant as a personal attack on you, because I'm very well aware that you might not even agree with the deck choices. I very much like the deck overall. I like what they're doing here. I think it's well positioned in the meta at the moment. I just think with that specific aspect of the deck, they went with the wrong type of deck building philosophy behind it, and it could be improved upon. So yeah, my choice would be to probably just have a Flame Slash, but I could see having a main deck Electricity as well. Still looking for that Flicker. They're kind of going off through their deck, but now the board position is already stable enough that I can keep jump blocking this Blastoderm pretty well. Deadweight my Moldrifter, sure. I mean, that's slightly annoying. That makes my Flicker enabler worse, but I think I'll take a hit here, because that offers me the best like setup for both. Like, I keep this so I can Lightning Bolt or Flame Slash their higher toughness creatures. I keep these two around for Flicker top decks. This looks like Rooting Mandrills, yeah, exactly. But yeah, my hand is kind of running out of steam, which is slightly annoying, though spell here. Well, at least I get to maximize the scry value, right? Steep analysis is so awkward. Probably still better to cast it first rather than Augur, because I can draw any spell off of it, not just like instants and sorceries. Yeah, Delph Stumpy. Scrat is nice. Real nice. Though once again my Moldrifters and Seagate Oracles are going to the bottom of my deck. Okay, let's deal with that dude. They're out of cards in hand, so as long as I survive this Blastoderm, should be in a perfectly fine position. Yeah, they're playing this deck. Maximum amount of graveyard enablers and some black and green beaters, 8 of which have Delph. Blastoderm because it's removal resistant, and Satyr Wayfinder also fills the graveyard. So I guess 16 ways of filling the graveyard. Some Werebears, some Putrid Leeches. My time situation is awful. I just need to play faster rather than shit talk the deck building decisions of Dennis Stone. Otherwise I'll just end up losing through the clock in now pretty winning board position. And this is game 2, sadly. I mean, I think I'm winning this, but yeah, my time situation is going to be a huge problem. I should maybe not have been dawdling around as much. Let's counter that. Yeah, Auger's pretty good. Well, Relic Sacks are pretty annoying for my Archaeomancer, which is why I'm sacking it before I cast my Preordain, so at least I have something to target. But yeah, these are awful. Where's my Flickers? Come on, Flickers, stop hiding. Cast, that's a good top deck though. Well, I guess I'll just accept the fact that I'm not counter-spelling anything this turn. That was the biggest upside of, the biggest downside of relicking there, I guess. That I get rid of my own ability to. Also, should be using this, what the hell? Yeah, I was thinking of like, I don't know, maybe like Kombaji Witches or something, or like Sparksmith or something, that I take damage when I activate it, but obviously it's like a free, it's just a pinger. So I think I missed it twice. That's pretty embarrassing. These two should already be dead. No, stop drawing. Bastard. I guess now it's completely irrelevant. Never mind. I mean, it's bad for my time situation, but it's irrelevant on the board because I can block and then flicker. So that these are always going to be useless. But yeah, I think I'm timing out game 3 and like winning this game on time. Now I'm activating main phase to make up for my previous mistake. But yeah, this saves me some time so that I can potentially F6 my opponent's turn at some point without forgetting about it. Yeah, I think 5 minutes is actually too little to win the match. But yeah, I brought this on myself. Should be sufficient to win this game. But yeah, I took like super long game 1 and then ended up losing in a game where I felt like I had stabilized and should be winning. I should have bounced land first, but still ends up being alright. There we go. There's my bolt for the win condition. Nice. I can block here, like bolt them, flicker, bolt them again. That should win in like 1 or 2 turns, but yeah. Way too little time for a game. They really want to keep drawing Blastoderms, though, as I said, I can still blank these pretty easily. Because the flicker lock already blanks them. Oh man. The setup is not great though. Currently, I need to pop this out so it's available to me right away. Kind of disappointing showing. I felt like I could like stabilize game 1 and then everything would be fine in the match situation. That I spent this much time on a game 1 would have been perfectly alright if I had ended up winning it. But yeah, if I end up losing game 1 after spending 15 minutes on it or something, then the match situation is already pretty hopeless, and then I kept discussing stuff in game 2 as well, which I don't mind. At least it was some hopefully informative discussion going on. And I guess the difference between like 1 treasure chest and 3 treasure chests is not that big of a deal. And at least I get to talk about smart things. Okay, they're keeping back blockers. Sure. They're still just dead here. Wish I had a second bolt so I could just stop the flicker part of this and just double bolt them out, but yeah. Bolt. Whatever, I'll just go for a Mulldrifter win. If they're unwilling to attack, there's no reason for me to keep flickering. I guess I can flicker once and just get the bolt. Cuts off a turn. Sure. Yeah. Still feels pretty hopeless, but I'll try my best to offer you a show for game 3. And maybe put these back in. I actually didn't see any Putrid Leeches from them, so maybe they boarded those out. Or did I Flame Slash one? I'm not certain anymore. There might have been a Putrid Leech in the early game. So Deep Analysis is out, more Lightning Bolts, because I need to win quickly. And I think the Razorfin plan was actually pretty smart, though these relics don't actually help me much. Especially not if I'm not trying to out-control them, but trying to win quickly, which is not the greatest way of approaching a matchup either. My red card is 3-1, and likely to be 3-2, but yeah, we'll try. All again. Sure. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. No, they mulligan to 5 only. I guess. My hand isn't great either, especially not for going aggressive. I think I would keep this under normal circumstances, so I just did here as well. But yeah, it's the type of hand that takes 10 minutes instead of 3. Yeah, I beat, I don't know, a bunch of decks, and then I lost to Boggles, which is pretty much the most awful, unwinnable matchup that is in existence. Even got to steal a game where they couldn't beat a single Electrickery, but then got beat up twice where their creature got more than 1 toughness and then I could never win anymore. Maybe I should have counterspelled this. I was already F6'd on my turn. Hopefully they just run a Delve Threat into my counterspell because of it, and then it ends up being much better for me. I mean, not. Well, I guess it ends up being like pretty much the same. Don't have red mana available yet, so... Oh wait, actually this is awful. No, they also F6. Sure. Because they could have followed up with the Delve Threat. Did they take Putrid Leech out of their Grisly Spectacle? They did. Interesting. It's Grisly Salvage though, but... I'm going off for today after this, so sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, I have to work tomorrow and then... But I'm always interested in Sweet Deck List, so you can still send it to me and I'll play it on a different stream. Appreciate the offer. I'm not going to be playing it today, but yeah, I'll take a look at it. Sure, I have to let this resolve. No time to check what they took off all of their cantrips. But I guess if something dangerous comes up, I'll counter it, and if not, I won't. Sure. Those are decent, those low. Two minutes. Not to the bone. Wow, they are really going for the timeout. Well, I think not to the bone is actually going to beat me. Not that it's like a good strategy in general, but I guess they saw I have 3 minutes left and then they thought gaining 15 life sounds appealing. Reverse timeout? I don't think so. I'll try, but it doesn't feel very realistic. I mean, I'm definitely beating them this game, but that was partially because of their weird deck building and sideboarding decision, which I guess is on purpose. Like, they probably know it's not good. Wait. Okay, I'll counter it. This makes me very vulnerable to them just casting a creature on their turn. That resolves, but if there's any hope of me winning, I have to counter this Gnaw to the Bone and not let them go to 45. Whatever, how much life it was going to be. Well, that gets credit actually, that's not the end of the world. Whatever, I'll counter it, whatever it is. Even though this is not smart either, it stops them from drawing more creatures, hopefully. Wow. So now I would have the game under control. What? Did they F6 to their turn on purpose? I'm not certain. I should have been flickering on their turn, of course, but if they stop playing the game for real and just go for a timeout, I'll try to just maximize the amount of attacks I get in. Okay, whatever, let's try for 1 flicker, maybe. Maybe I shouldn't. Why did I not take Razorfin Hunter? No, I need a Muldrifter. I need more power on the board. Yeah, if both of us F6, I'm just dying. Though I guess I have more cards in my library. So if both of us truly F6, well, I guess I have creatures to attack with. So double F6ing actually probably kills me because of timeout. But yeah, they seem to not be doing much. I'm obviously not playing this correctly. Should be flickering the entire time. Sure. Also should have played this Augur of Bolas, but yeah, I'll fix that mistake next turn. Leaf Crown, sure. Dice 2. Flame Snash. I'll start bolting their face and hope that doesn't backfire. Yeah, obviously I would have had Flicker backup if I played all of this smarter, but as I said, oh, floating mana. God damn it. Magic at its finest. No, not the Blastoderm. Can't actually beat that. I think I'm dead. There's the counter spell that I would have needed. Muldrifters. Also, I should have some always yield to Seagate Oracle, always yield to Augur of Bolas stuff going on, which I don't have. And I keep forgetting that I can set that at the beginning of the match. Wait, why did I do that? I have no idea. Whatever. I think I'm giving up. Yeah, like 2 more minutes would have been fine. Okay, this should go away soon. I guess we can reverse timeout if they do some nonsense. There's my Razorfin again. Though I guess I'm soon discarding to hand size. That is a problem. They're pretty slow though. I'll just start only F6ing. Sure, that dies to Flame Smash. Oh, they had more north at the bone. Okay. F6 battle. I'm ahead on time now, right? Though I do have creatures and they don't, so that's a definite disadvantage. Easiest game of my life.